Hi, and welcome to the Health Begins with Mom show. I am Dorit Palvanov, your host. On this podcast, I will share insights and interviews on health, parenting, and explore the question of what does it take to thrive as women, wives, and mothers. Now, let's get going with today's episode. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Health Begins with Mom podcast. This is Dorit Palvanov, your host. Welcome to episode number 101. So if you're looking for the show notes, you can find them at healthbeginswithmom.com/EP-101. So welcome to those of you who are returning listeners, and hello to the new ones. So exciting. As I look through my stats for the podcast, I see that every single week we have new listeners joining in. So that makes me so happy. So welcome to you, to the new peeps as well. And thank you so much for listening and for sharing your most valued resource with me here, which is your time. I know that as busy moms and busy people, really, we have a gazillion things that we could do instead of listening to me. So if you're here, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And if you're new to me, and to the show, this is really the place where we talk about the intersection between your health as a woman, your sacred work at home as a wife and a mother, and how to tap into your life's work as a healer and a creative in a way that feels aligned, authentic, and joyful. As I always say, I believe that all mothers are healers, and we can make the world a better place, really beginning with us. Until we really know who we are, and until we feel that we're really, really connected with ourselves, to ourselves, it's really difficult to feel like we are being the leaders that we know we can be in the world, in our families, in our marriages, in our relationships, in our work, and all of that stuff. Which is why the show is called Health Begins with Mom. All right, so today I wanted to, hopefully this is going to be short because I frankly in half an hour have to go pick up my kids from school. So I wanted to, as I was thinking about today's episode, I had to share this with you because I think that it's so important for all of us, and I think every single one of us feels this way. And basically what happened was that this week I was getting ready for Passover, and I shared this here on the podcast many times that I lead a fairly religious Jewish lifestyle, and that means that we keep all the holidays, and we keep the Sabbath, and keeping the Sabbath, what it means to those of you who don't know, is basically on Saturday we are disconnected from all technology, and we don't drive, and we're really honing in on our family and the connection, and this is when we really just spend time with each other and with our friends and with our families. And this is how we have chosen to live, and we love this lifestyle. And our kids also go to a Hebrew school and all of those things. And so now this is the week before the holiday Passover, and Passover is, in my culture, is one of the most anxiety triggering holidays that there is. Every holiday in the Jewish I think in the Jewish lifestyle is triggering and anxiety provoking, but especially Passover, because according to our tradition, we cannot have any chametz. It's called chametz, but it's basically breadcrumbs anywhere in the house. So that means that there is an extensive attention to detail in terms of cleaning. And to somebody like me, this is extremely anxiety provoking, because I am a control freak, and the way I control things, the way I control my environment, is through keeping my space super clean. So some people would say that my house looks like it's Passover every day, because really I just need my environment to be super clean and neat and put together. And so for Passover, it's extra, it's like the next level for me. So, and I know that this is true not just to me, it's true with many of my friends and clients and people who are in my life, and who are also how should I say it, are also living this kind of lifestyle. So I wanted to share a message I received from a friend of mine, and I'm actually recording this specifically to her. So if you're listening to this, my love, this is for you. I'm obviously going to do this anonymously, so nobody is going to know your name, but this is directly at you. And hopefully this message will touch you, even if you're not that friend. So it goes like this. So I got this message from her on WhatsApp, and like, keep the context of the holiday and anxiety and the control and all this, the chaos that is happening in our lives right now. And I think this is just a kind of like a representation of something that each one of us is going through on a day-to-day basis, right? Not only in those moments when it's extra hard, because I know that a lot of you are feeling like every day it feels like this. And the truth is, and believe me, I've been there. I've been there where it felt really difficult. And this is the reason why I have done all this work with myself over the years. And now I'm on the other side. Now I'm on the side where my husband can actually say, you know what, Dorit, that investment that you've put into yourself, a couple years ago, and actually now I can see that it's worth it. And that makes me so happy. So yeah, I'm going back to, getting off of tangent here. This is basically the message that I got from my friend. So she says, can you please come over tomorrow? I went insane today. I was really ready to leave everyone and just run. And then I said, oh man, I've had so many of these moments. I'm so sorry I can't come today. I have my cleaning lady coming to help me with the kitchen. And so she says, no worries, my love. My mom is going out with me. I'm really in need to go out and breathe a bit. And so I say, oh, I hear you. I'm here if you need to chat over the phone, maybe after kids go to bed. And so she says, thank you. And then she says, my third daughter rubbed Vaseline over all of my kids' faces, and she also has 3 kids. So over all their faces and hair, and they let her because they couldn't stop her. And she says, where was I? I was downstairs preparing dinner. And I'm like, oh crap. In these moments, you don't know, should you kill them or kiss them all over? And she says, yeah, I was shocked, but then I wiped it all off and kissed them. I figured they needed to shower anyway. When my daughter later decided to take out all the wipes out and spread them all over the rug, that is when I called my husband to come home. Well, tomorrow is another day. And then I say, well, one day you'll miss this. One day you will come home to a quiet house. One day you will beg them to visit you and make some mess. Right now, it's your time to savor all of it and keep reminding yourself that this too shall pass. In the meantime, shower them with kisses while you are taking care of yourself too. Ask yourself, what do you need? What do you want? Complete this sentence. Would it be nice if I could? Would be nice if I could. And then she said, I want to sleep in with a clear conscience and without having responsibilities just for a day. And then I said, Oh, that's easy to fix. Can you think of 2 ways you could get that? And the next step would be asking yourself, can I really get what I want and my house is not going to fall apart? And she said, "Oi, not a chance." So this is why I wanted to share this with you, because I know how this feels. I know how it feels when you literally feel like you are trapped, like there is no other way, like nothing is going to change. And as a result, you have to suck it up and keep moving forward. This is how motherhood should look like. This is how this season of our lives should be like. And there is really nothing that you can do. And I remember a couple of years ago, I was there too. And I felt so depleted to the point that I was constantly questioning myself. And I was constantly really in regret. I felt that I'm starting to regret that I have made that choice, that I've made the decision to become a mother. And to me, I mean, motherhood and raising children, it's such I've always dreamt of becoming a mom. I've always wanted to. I mean, it was my soul calling. I've chosen all of my kids. I believe that I have, and I've thought of all of their names, and I've poured so much love into them. So to me, regretting and really seeing like there was absolutely no point to all of this chaos, it was like I just felt defeated, and I felt like it cannot be that I don't know. What if there was just something that I'm not doing right, or maybe something that I wasn't taught? What if I am doing this life, quote unquote, just the way I've kind of, I'm learning to kind of model what I've seen out there. But I've always known that what I've seen out there, it's not what I want. And I knew there was a strong knowing in me. I remember as a younger girl, as a teenager even, I remember when I've seen certain things in my home, when my mom said some things, or when my grandma said and did some things, I knew instantly, to say if it was right or wrong. And so what was I doing? Just repeating the same thing, just repeating the same song, or perpetuating this generational pattern? What if I could change that? What if I could actually show my girls through my own personal work that they don't have to, that motherhood doesn't necessarily come with the exhaustion and the burnout and the chaos and the feeling like you are losing your mind, like you are losing this sense of self, like you've so many times I hear women say that I've lost myself in motherhood, right? What if it doesn't have to be that? And so this is the message that I want to share with you, my dear friend, is that I know that you don't see a way out, and I know that you feel trapped, and I know that you feel like there is no way or not a chance for you to get what you want. But I can tell you that there is. And the only person who's keeping you stuck, who's keeping you trapped and caged and in this place is you. It's not your kids, it's not your husband, because I'm sure that your husband loves you. And so many of my women, of my clients, of the women I work with, have really good husbands, men who really want to please you and to make you feel really, really happy. And so, it was the same with my husband, and it is still the same with my husband. My husband is a really, really good guy. So what was I doing I've at some point in my life, I had to really have this awakening and realize that it's either I'm losing my mind and I'm like, I need, immediate intervention. Maybe I'm depressed. Maybe I have some mental illness. I don't know. Or it is just that I'm just selfish and I just don't appreciate what I have. And here I am married to the love of my life. We have 3 beautiful and healthy children. We have a house, we have a car, we have everything we need. And I am still I'm just not happy. And there I had to really give myself the permission and take this huge, massive leap and do something radically different. Which you guys know, for those of you who are familiar with my story, that's when I had to really step out of my comfort zone and do something really, really scary and invest a lot of money at the time, for me, still a lot of money, and work with somebody who could help me to shift away and really rewire my brain and my thinking, my thought pattern, because it was just not healthy and it was not what I wanted. And so it's the same for you, for you, the listener, and for you, my friend. So many times I can give you an example of myself being in that moment of asking myself, what do I need? What do I desire, right? And last week I've done an episode specifically about desire, right? And I hope you've taken the time to dive deep into your journal and really give yourself permission and ask yourself what it is that you want. Even if it's small things like more sleep or time in solitude, time alone. If you just want a massage, if you just want to eat a meal that is still warm and not cold. If you just want to go for a walk by yourself, or if you crave, like, you want time in nature, whatever it is, small things, how to ask for maybe you don't know how to ask yet, but you know what you want, right? And so what is that gap between knowing what you want and actually getting it? It's you. It's only you. And it was me a couple of years ago. It's our thought pattern. For me, for example, is I felt this immense shame and guilt for asking for time by myself, because at the time I wasn't working. The majority of the money was made by my husband. He was the one providing. And I just felt so guilty to, how dare you ask for, a day off when he is the one, providing. You're not even, I wasn't even contributing financially to the home. But I was keeping these children, these humans alive. And this is a huge thing. Now I'm thinking about this and I want to laugh. But at the time, I really felt trapped. I felt like I cannot ask for anything that is really for me. I felt like I was, like, there was no way. Like my friend said, like, there was absolutely no way. And then as I was working through my own healing and, being in this deep inquiry and really asking myself, what do I want? What do I want? What do I crave? What do I desire? And of course, with the help of my coach, I have scheduled a time at a very small and cheap hotel locally here, like maybe, 15 minutes away. And I didn't do it just out of the blue. I've communicated this, this desire with my husband, and I was so pleased and surprised that he actually was supportive. He's like, Dorit, if this is what you need, do it. I'm here. I'm going to support you. Don't do it during the week because that's when I'm working, but maybe you can do this over the weekend when I'm home with the kids. So I'm like, okay, sounds good. So I did this on Saturday. So Saturday night after the Sabbath, I went away and I spent the entire Sunday by myself. It was not expensive. Like, it was not something that totally, gonna break the bank for us. I think I paid like, I don't know, maybe $80 a night, and it was just one night. But I was 100% by myself. I did whatever the heck I wanted. I showered when I wanted. I slept when I wanted. I napped when I wanted. I watched movies. I've just totally indulged. I read books, and I came back home. I remember I Ubered back home. And I just felt so good. I just felt so happy. And that day, I felt like because my cup was full, I was so loving to my kids, and I was so loving to my husband. And you know what? I came back home and my house didn't fall apart. Like, it was fine. Okay, so it was a little bit not up to my standards in terms of cleaning, but you know what? I survived that, and my kids survived it, and my husband did too. And after that, I did it again, and then I did it again, and I didn't do it every month, but I did it whenever I felt like I needed to. So I no longer felt like I was trapped, because again, the only person who kept me trapped was me. And so what I've done is I have given myself the permission to just do things differently. And I remember this constantly. I love this Albert Einstein's saying, if you want, it goes like this. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. It's totally insane to believe that you can continue to do things the same way and having a different result. Like, what do we expect? And I think it's not that we are really thinking about those things, right? We kind of have expectations, and then when things don't happen the way we want them to, we feel guilty, and we kind of think that there's something wrong with us and that we're not worthy. When in reality, what we really need to do is to be willing to just kind of like slow down and just try a different strategy, right? So that's what I've done. And what's amazing is that after that, and I've had that conversation many, many times with my husband and with other men in my community. As women, we talk a lot about the fact that we're tired and exhausted and depleted. And men, especially in a more kind of traditional society, men don't feel like they can even admit that they are burnt out and stressed out, right? Because they have to be the stronger ones, they have to be the provider. But the truth is that they're exhausted too. They're tired too. They're depleted too. And what happens when you as the woman, when you as their wife, as their partner, when you are giving yourself the permission to do that, to give yourself a break, to give yourself some time off, you are modeling to them, a healthier behavior. And so what happened to me was that my husband all of a sudden has, he also always said, oh, it would be nice to just go to Cuba by myself, or would be nice to just, go to a sunny place all by myself. He didn't even include me, and he was afraid that I will be offended by it, that I will feel like he doesn't love me anymore, like he doesn't want to spend time with me. And I'm like, honey, this is like, it's BS. It's not true. It's a limiting belief that you have in your head. It's not even true. Thank you for sharing it with me. Please, I need you to take care of yourself. So please book a ticket, book this vacation and go. I need you healthy. I need you grounded. I need you be thriving. I don't need you to just be surviving, right? And so my husband over the time started giving himself permission to do this too. And I truly believe this is really the core behind this health begins with mom philosophy, is that as the woman of the home, we are really we're like the sun, and everything revolves around us, right? Everything passes and goes through us. And so when we are giving ourselves the permission to do things, or to explore things, or to evolve, or to shed a lining in terms of our own consciousness and reality, this is going to be, by the law of radiation, this is going to be radiated into the people who we live with, right? And so do not underestimate the power that you have. If you are constantly, burnt out and depleted and constantly go and never slow down and never take the time to rest and to take care of yourself, then this is the energy that you are emanating into your immediate environment. So don't be surprised if your husband is like coming back and the energy that you're getting from him is like a panting dog. Don't be surprised if your sex life is non-existent. Don't be surprised if your kids are having some difficulty at school. Now, I'm not saying that this is all your fault, and I'm not saying this to myself also, but at the same time, it was a very strong wake-up call for me. Let me put it this way. When I've seen that my kids are having some issues with school, with their friends, when my husband was having more, health issues, not severe health issues, but more than I would expect him to. All of those things were massive wake-up calls to me. So I am proud of myself that I did not let this become a crisis, to the point that we had to go through something really, really tough. But I can tell you hands down that if I didn't wake up to this, as I did, we would have gotten to a crisis, because that's where it was heading. It was just, going in that direction. And for many people, especially from my industry and the clients that I have, a lot of the times people kind of quote unquote wake up when it's already too late, when it's, through these health struggles that they're coming to realizing that it's time for them to take care of themselves. So my message to you today would be, please give yourself the permission to just explore and think differently. If you feel like you desire to just sleep in and, and not be bothered for just one day, do it. Do it. Ask yourself, how can I make this happen? Can I maybe ask my sister, my mom, my friends to just, take the kids for a day? Maybe can I ask my husband to stay with the kids over the weekend so that I can go somewhere, to just to rest and replenish myself? Can you you don't even have to go anywhere. Can you ask for your husband for just half a day to take the kids maybe to the science center, or to the museum or somewhere, so that you can be just alone without anybody? Can you ask a neighbor to come in? Can you ask, if you live in a neighborhood where there are a lot of senior people, these people are so lonely, and this is free help. So just because we are afraid of asking for help or afraid to bother people, this is so ridiculous. But I also understand. I live in Canada and I used to live in Israel. And in Israel, all the neighbors knew each other and we were all in each other's business. There was a lot of, negativity to it, but also a lot of good things. I could pop into my neighbor's house and ask for eggs or whatever it is that my mom needed for cooking that day. And here, in the Western world, it doesn't really happen as much, but I think it should happen. So it's okay for us to ask for help. It's okay to enroll other people into our health mission. It's okay to ask for help. And if you cannot, if really there is nobody around you, then we really have to become creative and resourceful with what we do have. So I guess my message to you is, please get out of your own way and see what you can do so that you can take care of yourself, so that you can feel really, really good, because that when you feel good, when you're happy, when you're vibrant, when you feel calm, when you feel light, when you feel restored, then everybody around you will pick up on that energy. And this is how you are creating a healthy environment around you. And this is why I believe that health begins with mom. So this is the message I have for you, my girlfriend, and to all the listeners. Well, you are my girlfriends, all of you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for taking the time. Please, if you have a chance, head on over to iTunes and leave a rating or a review. That helps so much to this message to reach more and more women and mothers and wives, so that we all thrive as women and thrive as wives and also as mothers. Also, if you would like to jump on a call with me, you can do so by heading over to my website, so www.healthbeginswithmom.com/discovery/call, and book a free consult with me. I love connecting with you. I love hearing where you are listening to this podcast from. And I also love helping you find more of who you truly are. So again, the link is www.healthbeginswithmom.com/discovery-call. Book that call, and I would be so honored to connect with you and to share more of who you are and help you to find more of yourself. All right, my love, I'm sending you off with so much love and healing, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to the Health Begins with Mom show. I love hearing from you, so please post your comments and questions over at healthbeginswithmom.com/podcast. If you love the show, please share it on social media and in your real life with other moms who might enjoy this content. And if you have a burning question or topic you'd like me to hit on the show, just drop me a line at dorit@healthbeginswithmom.com. And if you love this show and really want to support it, please go to iTunes, write a review, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Much love and many blessings.